Army has released over 300 individuals who had been detained in Borno State for suspected links to Boko Haram. We're going to discuss that now with the help of the Executive Director, Al-Amin Foundation for Peace and Development, Hamsatu Al-Amin. Thank you very much, Hamsatu, for giving us your time. There has been scenarios in history where people go undercover and act contrary to their real purpose until the time is right. Over 200 people fled after the army said they've established that they are no longer terrorists. Is it truly possible to establish this 100%? Or would you say we're taking a risk with this?
Thank you very much for having me. Can you repeat your question, please? It wasn't very clear.
Okay, the release of these persons, I was trying to paint a scenario that some people go undercover. We've had history of people going undercover until the time is right for them. And then these persons are being released. The army said they've cleared them after years of investigation. So I'm trying to find out from you, it is truly possible, is it truly possible to establish that these people are innocent 100%? Aren't we taking a risk, perhaps?
Okay, thank you very much for having me. Now I heard you clearly. Really, you know, it is a very, very difficult situation. In a situation where you keep human beings under bar for a period of over 8 years and above. Because most of them who are released today, in fact, have stayed behind bars in this detention facility for over 7 years, some of them up to 8 years. It is a joint investigation center where, in fact, a committee sits down and then goes through the cases of these people and then to ascertain whether they are innocent or culpable of any of the accusation made against them. Then in a situation where you cannot establish any fact, in fact, the right thing to do is to release them. Nobody is quarreling about maybe somebody who is culpable is released. But in fact, there is a saying that says, in fact, to incarcerate an innocent person, one innocent person is better than to release, in fact, 10 culpable ones.
Yeah, I think we get this.
So therefore, in a situation where you cannot find any evidence, I think what the Nigerian military did today is the best thing to do, that is to release after satisfying itself that there is no issue to convict them or then hold against them. So the best thing is to release them, I think.
All right, we understand that they have been handed over to the state government through the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development for reintegration. Yes. The question I want to ask, are they now wards of the state, or is there a time frame for this reintegration and letting them get back to society?
Yes, in fact, well, you know, somebody who has stayed this long in the detention facility, whether innocent or culpable, so long as you cannot establish anything against him, the issue of trauma is there, even if they are innocent. Even to the innocent part, the issue of trauma and then psychological distress is there. So therefore, the Borno State, we were living witnesses. We were around when they were released to the Commissioner of Women Affairs. In fact, there were 331 of them. And then the ministry has now taken them to the Impact Transit Rehabilitation Center, where they will profile them. After profiling them, then they will do is it the relation tracing, so that if they and then they hand them over to them. So therefore, in the process, while they do all this, they are taken through. In fact, we have gone to see the detention facility in the Ministry of Women Affairs, where there are several professionals, in fact, who sit one with these people, so that, in fact, to demystify some of these, if there is anything in them, and then if there is nothing, also the issue, they are healed of the traumas and then the psychological distresses, and then they are stabilized so that they are handed back to the members of their communities or their relations.
All right, Nsatu, I understand you were part of the committee that reviewed these suspects and, released, were part of their release. Just so we don't have the similar situation where in Kuriga, it was said that there were over 200, close to 300, and then when these children were released, there were about 137. So can you confirm for us the exact figure of individuals that were released?
I am not part of any. I am just a civil society activist in the poll. I was not part of the committee that screened or part of the release, but what I did actually, I am as a civil society activist, I just fight for the rights of innocent people and then also to protect the government as well, and then my people too. So therefore, what I tell the government or the Nigerian military is screen them, profile them. If you find them wanting, prosecute them, and then let the law take the appropriate measures against them. And while they are certified innocent, then release them. And then where there are no evidences whatever, in fact, the period of time they have been in behind bars is honestly enough a punishment for anybody. In fact, an innocent person kept behind bars for over 8 years. I think the only justice that can be made, and then as a peace builder, is to propagate for their safe release back to the society, so that the society member in fact knows them. We work with traditional rulers, with our community leaders, with religious leaders, with youth in the societies. The youth vigilantes are there who know in fact who is culpable, who is bad. In fact, we know the bad, the ugly, and the good, the bad, and the ugly in every society. In fact, through these mechanisms that are in place. So the society has enough impact to, so what we do is to propagate not on the side of the detainees, but then in fact on both sides. We are on both sides. We are protecting the government, we are protecting our people, as well as
first, let me apologize for the mix-up, and thank you for your time and the insights you've provided.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having us.